Hello and welcome to Captain Bob. Today we'll be building a radio. For this build, you'll need the 5 and 8 digit PropWashSim DIY radio kit, an Arduino Mega, these DuPont connectors, a Rotary Encoder, or a Potentiometer with a switch, and you can have either combination of these. You'll also need these 3 M3 6mm screws and these 3D printed parts. You'll also need some pizza because pizza is yummy. And a dog to keep you happy. Sorry, she wants the pizza. Let's start off by clipping the ears. I have these side snips and I'm just getting half at a time. You should be relatively far from any of the important traces. Just make sure not to snip this resistor or this capacitor. If you need to, you can leave a little bit of the ear on. You just want to make sure that it fits all the way through, and it shouldn't be flush right here, because when we put this panel on, now it'll be flush like that. Do the same thing with the 5-digit display. In about like 2 months, I'll clean out everything and then I'll find these little ears everywhere. It'll be fun. It'll be like a scavenger hunt. Don't cut yourself on these edges because you might do that. Now you can press this in. Our last step here is to have these 2 buttons. For this, we're going to get these screws right here, push them into their little holes, and then screw them down. We should now be able to press this button and hear the button click. That is a good thing, the button clicking, you know? Do the same on the other side. Let's move on to the faceplate. The faceplate will just go on in the end like this, so that's proof that it won't look very stupid. Now I have these 2 electronics. There's a potentiometer with a switch, and I chose this because it's a potentiometer with the switch for the volume. So you click it on and that sends a switch signal that it's on. You can adjust your volume in the simulator or in real life if you want to do all the wiring for that or something. And then the switch turns it off. For the right, I chose a rotary encoder because of the push function. I know you can find potentiometers with the push function. I just didn't have any, so I'm using a rotary encoder, and then we should be able to choose the volume here too. So click to ident, or toggle ident, I guess, even though technically it's a pull. Maybe a later version or something I'll implement the pull and the channel buttons or something, but right now we're keeping it simple. Kiss, keep it simple, silly goose, person, dude. Nah, I guess that's kissy good. The potentiometer, there's a little hole it clicks into the back with. I don't even need a washer. For this, the washer is too big, it'll cover up the text. So I'm tightening down the nut. I have these small knob covers, and this will just show you where your volume is, which is pretty nice. We also have the dual encoders. So these just take off the covers. And push them through the screw holes. Now I can tighten down these dual encoders. Put the cap on. Now we have 3 screws that tighten these this faceplate to the back panel. 1, 2, and 4. No, I'm joking, 3. If you use a rotary encoder like this, you won't have that problem right there. And you can still assign the off function to the press to toggle it if you want. I wouldn't do that though, that's stupid. It's kind of too nerdy. So here we are. We just have the rotary encoder and the second dual encoder. I was about to set this to the 0 position, but I realized that would take a while. Yeah, you can just keep going. Whee! Last of all, the dual encoder. Ta-da! Here's our radio. All we have left to do is use a paint marker and illuminate the text. Be careful, it might be easier to do this before the knobs. Either way though, I'm doing it after, as you can tell. And my favorite part is the branding. King Bob.
Unadu. King Bob!
Now's probably a good time to peel off the displays. This is good. Mistakes are proof that you're trying and not really doing great. I guess I won't ever be a professional paint marker. I'm going to apply this window tint to these 7-segment displays so you don't see the display part while they're off. Yes, I should have done it before I wired it all up and got it in, but it's better late than never. Usually with these videos, I give you a detailed rundown of the wiring, what to stick where, but this video, I won't exactly do that. I will show you this wiring diagram right here. Now I have to go make it the wiring diagram. Why do you say these things, Trevor? And I'll run through my pinout right here. Your pinout will be different. My pinout is incredibly stupid. I basically just stuck these into empty pins from my generic radio here. So the pinout isn't exactly chronologically friendly or whatever. I'll just go through here. The wiring here, just make sure DIN, CS, and CLK. Go to DIN, CS, and CLK, as well as a press function. Use some more press functions, some switches, some buttons. It's Trevor from the future. Make sure all of your PropWashSim encoders are set to this first 2D tenths per cycle right here. If yours is wrong, then play around with it, see what's right. Really want to follow along? There you go. Click upload, and we're good to go. Click OK, and let's start off with the 7-segment display. An important thing to note about the 7-segment display is that the number of displays right here is 4. You can also change the global... Hey, who asked? You can also change the global intensity right here so that, say you want it brighter or dimmer, you can do that. Alright, now under this, we're actually going to make 4 of these 7-segment rows. This will be 7-segment COM. Is active or standby? Active is first. Active right here. I haven't flown in a while. I forgot. And for this, we're going to use whatever you want to use here. Your SimConnect, Flight Sim 2020, or your or your X-Plane data ref. We're going to use active. It's been a long day. It hasn't even been that long. Going to sort with generic and find active frequency. This will be the first radio. If you want it the second radio, you can do that as well. There, COM active frequency 1. And then under display, we're going to use our display module with with 6 digits right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we click test, it's really close. I swear, it's so close, but so far. What we're gonna do is click this reverse digits button. Ta-da! It starts at 3. That's a bug. Just ignore that. 1, 2, 3. Decimal 4, 5, 6 is the format you'll want for each of these frequencies. Click test, and you'll see 1, 2, 3. Whoop! Decimal actually goes after the 3rd digit, not after the 4th digit. So 1, 2, 3, decimal 4, 5, 6. And you can change which display this is on through here. If you click run, our frequency will be 124.850. And if we go into our sim, kumbaya. I should make my own airport. Like, it would be the Captain Bob airport. What if it was just the Cessna 172 sitting in my living room? That'd be a pretty cool airport. And right here already, the frequency is great. And if we swap it, it swaps wonderfully. Let's go duplicate this row, and then this time we'll just have it stand by right here. And now under under sim variable, we will go I swear it was right here. Standby frequency right here. Index of 1. Unless you want it the second radio, then you can do index of 2. And we'll switch this to the second radio. Ready? Alright, now we have this going on for us. Duplicate it again. We have 7-segment nav active. Now this time, we're gonna do the same thing. Now let's take the nav frequencies. It's gotta be somewhere here. Okay, and then our next one is nav active frequency, index of 1 again, and then display to 3. This time we have something a little different, and you'll notice it's flickering right. Oh, you just ignore that. We'll set it to 3, and then there are 5 digits on this display. It'll be 1, 2, 3, decimal 4, 5. Click OK, and we'll realize we have our active frequency here. Duplicate it one more time, and this will be active. Standby. So it should be just below here. QRS standby. There. Now display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we have our radio. Okay, but this is giving us some strange results. It's giving us 89891. And I'm pretty sure that is right here, 89891. So what we're going to do is round this. This is all well and dandy, but when we look at our displays, it reads 1105.0. That's close. We'll give it that. But this one reads 25879. What's going on there? First, let's understand what it's trying to do. It's trying to read the last digits of our frequency, and it's trying to give that in the first slot. So it's like last, second to last, third to last, fourth to last, fifth to last. Usually that's how we like it. That's usually useful, but for a frequency, for some reason it's rounded to the like billionth of a hertz. So you see right here, 25879. 25879 is the last digits here. We'll start with the first one. We're going to enable the transform field right here and click round, type $ times 100, 0. So this means we're going to multiply this variable by 100. So this gives us a chunky number. So it says multiply this number by 1,000 and then round it so it has 0 decimals after the decimal. So that's what it does. If we click OK, you'll see it has 0 digits after the decimal and it's multiplied by 100. We're going to do that to the exact same thing here. And once we apply this rounding, round $ times 100, 0, we multiply it by 100 and it's all good to go. It now displays the only digits it can, 113.9. Let's go. Bonus round. If you want to have words in your 7-segment displays, go to Edit and in the Transform field, use an apostrophe. Open the apostrophe, put your text, and then close the apostrophe. Click OK, and then when you click Run right here, the output value will be text. If you want to have other words, I believe you can even just go text +1, and that'll just give you the 1 right there. You can even have symbols inside the text. This allows you to do a lot of cool things we won't use in this radio right now, but you can do fun things like sending secret messages. Alright, tip over. Now let's interact with the digits in the Inputs tab. Let's start with our COM rough. Scan for input. Just turn this. COM rough, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, COM generic. Where is it? Wow, there's a lot. COM radio whole decrease. Copy it over, paste it, and COM radio whole increase. This is assumed to be COM 1 because it doesn't say 2 or 3. That's the way we do it. Alright, now if we click this button, it increases it right here. That's awesome. Now, if we click run, 19, 20, 21, 22, and it goes down as well. Let's duplicate this and do the same for fine. Scan for input, COM fine, and then we're just gonna select whole frac decrease, copy on right, paste it, and frac increase. Okay, now let's work on the switch. So the switch should just be switch COM. So the switch will be COM. Under module, we'll select everything we want to, COM swap, and this will just be our switch or swap. Can't remember what it is. Swap. It must be swap then. That gave us some results. COM standby radio swap. All right, right there. Now if we click this button, our radio will swap. That's the entire purpose of the button. We'll also hook it up to nav. Now when we press this, our nav frequency changes. And that is the basic functionality of the radio. For the ident button, you'll do the exact same thing. In this case, it'd be the nav vol press right here. And then I believe you just search ident. Generic, and this would be under nav. Pretty good. All right. Now the printer finishes. Now that I'm done filming, that's great. At least it's a cool print. So for the ident, this will be radio VOR1 ident. It will be ident enable for press, and on release it'll be disable. That way you can hold it down, and while it's holding down, it'll give us the nice noise of and once we release, it'll release. If you want it to toggle instead, which might be more useful, you can instead just have it toggle right here. Radio VR1 ident toggle. And then on release, just have nothing. This is the other method. You press it, it holds down, press it again, it releases. Either way works. I think this toggle method might be more practical, but the ident method on press and on releases, it's up to you. Now we have everything working. If you want to have a global dimming variable, that sounds like a you problem. Functioning radio. We can change the frequency here, make it all sorts of crazy stuff, swap it, and we have it all ready to go. Look at that. This is pretty fun. Real quick, if you want to change the volume, look at my potentiometer video, but it would be under, and this would be a potentiometer, I'm just clicking buttons at this point. Search for volume under generic and find COM1 volume decrease, increase, or if you want to use a potentiometer, use set, and then nav1 decrease and increase right here. So those are your options. PropWashSim wanted to support the development of this project and offered up the 7-segment displays, so a huge thank you to PropWashSim for helping make this video possible. Thank you to everyone who makes this channel possible, especially our patrons and supporters, Altimeter Motives, Chris, David, EC Drew, Juan Fortis, and Morgan. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for watching, and have a fantabulous rest of your day. Stay spicy.